Greetings, whoever this may concern. Christian Aguilar here, back with another movie review. And in today's movie review, I'm going to be reviewing the most recent James Cameron film, Avatar: The Way of Water. The Way of Water is the sequel to the 2009 movie Avatar, which is about 12 years now, and it's pretty crazy to sit back and think that it's been well over a decade since the last movie. But I think James Cameron achieved all the goals he wanted in terms of this movie. Compared to the first one, this movie looks really, really good. The 3D is even really fun. There's sequences where the 3D is really impactful and it looks like things are really right in front of you, and that's really effective. However, the theater I saw this in didn't really have a good projector. The top of the screen was dark, but regardless of that fact, I still didn't feel the 3-hour runtime, and I still thought some 3D sequences were really great. So despite the crappy projector that my theater was running, the whole setup wasn't ideal. I was still engaged. The 3D effects were still cool to me, and that's a testament to how well it's made, because I can only imagine this on a bigger and better screen. So my advice to you, of course, is try to find the biggest and best screen for this movie. I guarantee the price of admission would be worth it just for the technical stuff. This is a very, very beautiful movie, and no doubt this is definitely a 4K buy. But before I go any further, the film stars Sam Worthington, Zoe Saldana, Sigourney Weaver, Stephen Lang, and Kate Winslet. And this review will remain spoiler free. You can watch this review and then go into the movie and not worry about anything being spoiled for you. So right off the bat, would I recommend going out and seeing this? If you've loved the first Avatar and you're waited this long, I think you've already watched it a couple times by now, but I do highly recommend going out and watching this. If you haven't seen the first one, should I jump into this second one? I believe you can. You won't be too lost as to what's happening, because the movie does kind of not totally recap, but it kind of refreshes your memory on the first movie. But if you really want to get into it, of course, go watch the first movie, then go and see the sequel. But I do recommend going out to a theater and watching this, especially in 3D. I don't know if there's a proper way to watch 3D movies at home anymore. That seems like a dying trend that kind of like left in the early 2010s. So in terms of seeing this the way James Cameron wants you to see it, I do recommend going out to the movie theater and seeing it, because again, the technical stuff, it was made to be seen on a big screen in IMAX in 3D, the best sound setup as possible. So of course that's going to blow you away. But in terms of the plot, it's a simple revenge story. I'll put it that way without saying too much. I love how they continue on with Jake and Neytiri's lives moving forward, creating the family, and having that be a whole dynamic that really carries throughout the entire movie. It's this little family unit that's essentially our protagonist. We're following them. And with that, I thought it was paced out very well. We had time with each characters. We got to know a little bit about everyone. And I believe that was the reasoning for the 3-hour runtime. And I'm glad to say that it doesn't waste too much time with like exhausting exposition. If they're going to show you something about this world, they're going to show it to you, not just tell you about it. And I like how it seems we're going to be exploring different tribes and different sections of the entire world of Pandora in each movie. Because the first movie seemed to just surround around the forest tribes. The second movie is obviously over the water tribes. Third, fourth, fifth, and sixth could be a number of tribes that Cameron has came up with, right? Like my friend, when I went to go and see this, my friend jokingly said, now onto the ground people, the mole people is the next movie, right? They're going to go deep underground or something. So I like how this second movie is basically unfolding the world of Pandora to us, bit by bit, which is pretty cool to see that even amongst this planet, naturally, there's division amongst tribes. Just because they're on one planet doesn't mean they're all going to be united. You know, they're all different factions there. And I like how reflective that is of planet Earth. That's a very human and planet Earth thing that Pandora shares, is that, yeah, we're all one together here, but we're still separated and we're still divided and we still don't really trust everyone here. I thought the performances were really great. While watching this, I forgot that some actors were portraying certain characters, and I thought that was a testament to their performances, because nowhere near did I think that, oh, that's so and so, or like that's, I didn't like. I'll put it this way: I forgot Kate Winslet was in this movie. She plays the wife of the water tribe, the queen, like the leader of that water tribe. Phenomenal performance. I forgot that was Kate Winslet, you know, like, and same thing with Sigourney Weaver's performance. She kind of takes on double roles here, which is very interesting to see play out. Again, great performances all around. The action sequences were really entertaining. I found myself on the edge of my seat because since this isn't really like a fully established IP, intellectual property, we don't have a lot of comic books or video games or animations or multiple movies with these characters, so everyone is essentially kind of new to us still. So when it came time for the big battle, everyone's lives kind of felt at stake. Save for like Jake and Neytiri. I feel like they're gonna, you know, at least make it to part 3. But any new faces that they introduced, I felt on the edge for them because I didn't know if they were gonna make it out of this movie, and I kind of like that feeling because that added to the whole fun of it. A couple of nitpicks I have about this movie. Again, I'm not gonna give too much detail away, but the ending I felt could have been a little bit better. It could have left us excited for part 3. That's what I wish would have happened. That this ending would have left us excited for part 3. Again, not to give too much away, I feel like the way this ended, I fear that this franchise might become repetitive in terms of its plot, and I don't want it to be. I don't think Cameron will let it be, but the way this one ended, this is a personal, again, this is all personal, this is what I think. The way it ended for me, it just felt like, I don't feel like there could be a part 3 to this. You know? Like, you could have ended everything here, and then there would have been no, like, 4 films to follow it, right? But I felt like it could have left you wanting more in the end. To me, it feels like it wrapped itself up, and there's really no need to come back for a part 3. That's just me. And I just hope that the sequels don't get repetitive moving forward. That's my only major problem with this movie, because, I mean, I remember turning to my friend, and it felt like what felt like to be the third act, that they were gearing up for the final fight. I turned to my friend and I'm like, you know, it's hitting the 3-hour mark. I checked the time and we had a 3:30 showing and it was already like 6 something. And I'm like, we already hit the 3-hour mark. This is insane. It felt like a 2-hour movie. And so I'm glad to say that I didn't feel the runtime. The 3D effects were awesome, despite the shitty projector I had, excuse my French. And overall, it's just a fun time. But again, I personally didn't enjoy the ending. So overall, what do I give Avatar: The Way of Water? What do I give it? What do I give it? Well, do I say it was 12 years worth the wait? Kind of, maybe. This felt like a movie that could have came out maybe in 2016, 2017. But I hope it just gets, like, all the sequels just keep getting better from here, because this is just part 2 of 6, you know? So I hope they just keep improving from here on out, especially in the plot. I have to give this a solid 3.5 out of 5 Skarsgårds. Yes, a 3.5 out of 5. It's a fun movie. It's a great movie. Don't get me wrong. I had a great time watching it, but it was just that ending that I had a huge problem with. And there was a shot of these animals that looked really terrible. Like, they looked like a plastic, smooth CGI model just pasted onto the forest. And I have to knock the film for that bad visual effect, because if you're waiting 12 years for the technology to catch up to your vision of your next film, and there's like 2 bad CGI models of these animals in one quick shot, it stands out, man. It really does. And when everything else looks beautiful and flawless, the bad stuff does stand out. And it was in a pretty well lit shot. It wasn't in a dark scene, so it really stood out. Again, they just look like plastic toys just pasted onto the screen. And I was just like, ooh, that's upsetting for a movie that's 12 years in the making. That was a little upsetting to see. Like, come on, I thought this was supposed to be better than Marvel, which technically it is. A lot of the effects in here are really, really beautiful and really well done, hence why that one shot stood out to me. And plus, it was towards the beginning, so by the time I got to the end, I was just, you know, already immersed. So, and plus, I didn't really break my immersion that much. It just stood out, and I found that funny. It is a great film. It's a fun time in a theater. I probably would want to go back to the movie theater. A different one, not the one that's closer to my house, but a different one that you'd have to drive out to and maybe go to an actual IMAX theater and experience it in all of its glory. I would like to see that, just to get the technical euphoria of it all, you know, just to really bask in all of its glory. I would sit through it again just to see it on a better screen. So that is it for today's video. That is my review on Avatar: The Way of Water. What did you think of the movie? If you saw it, were you ever excited for this movie? Were you over the moon excited about this movie just leading up to it? Let me know down below, and as always, please like, share, subscribe, support the channel. It's always very much appreciated. The Rendered Image is a show I co-host with my good friends Tyler and Shannon. Link to the channel will be down below in the description. Make sure to go over there, check it out. We go over all the latest movie news, updates, and trailers. So we will definitely be talking about Avatar, and then the new Spider-Verse trailer that came out, and the Guardians Volume 3 trailer that also came out. We're going to be talking about it all, so please go over there and check it out. I hope you're all safe and well out there, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.